Williams. If you're a lifelong Formula 1 fan, you'll know them as one of the most successful names in the sport's history. And if you're a DTS fan, you'll know them as the laughingstock who signed Nicholas Latifi. Hey there guys, I'm Will, welcome to FP1, and regardless, 2023 will mark 46 years since the British outfit first graced the F1 grid at the 1977 Spanish Grand Prix. And you might be sat there wondering, 46, it's not a particularly special number, it's not a funny number either, so why bring that up? And to that I say, well, what if that's where it stops? Williams have kind of fallen under the radar since George Russell's abs left for Mercedes at the end of 2021. Yeah, let's bring that year up again. Despite replacing the Brit with ex-Red Bull T-boy Alex Albon, let's be real, if it weren't for Nicholas Latifi doing GOAT things in 2022, you wouldn't have heard much from the team at all. And on the face of it, last season was a bitter disappointment for the team. With the new regs and increased funding from Doralton Capital, this was their best chance to leap up the field. And yet they didn't. Just saying, they should have hired me a couple of years ago when they had the chance. 8 points all year, a dip from 8th to 10th in the constructors' standings. It just wasn't good. And being honest, what are the chances that improves at all in 2023? Latifi, of course, has finally been dropped in favour of Mr. America, Logan Sargent, and while I think that's a good call, from a pure driver's point of view at least, it doesn't matter whether you put Lewis Hamilton or Andrew Tate in that car. If it runs at the pace of Charles Leclerc's brain, you aren't going anywhere. Now, let's return to the GOAT for a little bit. Look, I just want to get all my jokes in while he's still somewhat relevant, alright? Now, I'm not saying they should have kept Latifi. I mean, I think we can all agree he was dog shit. However, he did also bring a lot of money to the team. As a result of his sacking, two of Williams' key sponsors, Safina and Lavazza, have also jumped ship. Not only is this a huge financial blow to the team, without that coffee, all of the Williams engineers will have to wake up and remember they work for Williams. I'm not salty about them rejecting me, honest. That's not all the sponsor losses as well. In fact, Williams have lost 7 of their 24 partners heading into 2023. And even in a world with an F1 cost cap, that's gotta hurt. Combine this with the loss of FIA prize money after last season, and you have a team that financially would be lying in its own grave were it not for the payout they received from Rocket a few years ago. To think they nearly signed with Rich Energy instead. Christ. And this is all bad, obviously, but I've not even got to the main issue of the team, and that's the fact that they haven't even got a leader. The signing of Jos Capito at the end of 2020 seemed to set the team on an upwards trajectory, and though 2022 was, well, less of a step back, more like a leap off a cliff in terms of performance, he seemed to be the man that could just take Williams back into the midfield fight. But as it turns out, that was never going to happen. On the 13th of December 2022, the F1 world was rocked by the announcement that Capito, as well as technical director FX, would leave the team ahead of the 2023 season. While I don't think it's been outright confirmed, this didn't seem to have anything to do with the team's on-track performance, more that Capito was too upset about the loss of his Nutella buddy, or he just wanted to retire. Still, I think it's probably the first one. This, however, would at least imply that this was no split-second decision, that the team would likely have known far in advance about Capito's plans and therefore have ample time to sort a replacement. Except they haven't. We did see a raft of team personnel changes following Capito's exit, though none were at Williams. Now, granted, with no sponsors and limited funds, I imagine luring other bosses away from their teams to work for the worst outfit on the grid isn't an easy task, but they've kinda gotta find someone. Besides the drivers, the team principal and technical director roles are the two most important positions in the team, and the new season is really not that far away. The longer it takes to fill those positions, the harder it will be for those new signings to bed in with the team before the covers come off in testing only a couple of months from now. As for who takes either of these, I haven't the faintest idea, and I don't really want to make a prediction. That was a 2022 thing. However, if I had to throw a name into the hat, potentially Mattia Binotto, if they can fish him out of an Italian job centre. Realistically, I can't see that happening, though stranger things have occurred in Formula 1. But if we take Mattia out of the equation, that leaves us only with candidates with little to no F1 experience in these roles, which isn't ideal given the situation the team find themselves in. Williams' nightmare has somehow slipped under the rug, but when you break it all down, the team are in deep trouble, and I return to that number 46 I mentioned at the beginning of the video. If things keep going the way they are, it'll take more than just Doralton's investment to keep that number ticking upwards. At a time where we're expecting to see new names enter the Formula 1 grid, and finally open the sport up to new paid drivers, the last thing we really want to see is another one drop out, especially when it's such an established name like Williams. Though I don't think this scenario is out of the realms of possibility. Anyway, I've given you my take, now I want to know what you think. Are Williams really under threat from falling off the grid, or am I a view-hungry piece of shit just trying to clickbait you all? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd also like to quickly thank @FastestPitStop over on Twitter, whose thread was the main inspiration for this video. Make sure you drop them a follow, and while I'm plugging people, I might as well plug myself for a bit. I've started posting on my TikTok again, so if you want to see any more of my hot takes, then drop me a follow over there. A final thank you goes to all of my patrons, and if you want to support the channel, all the links are down in the description below. But for now, that's all from me, so I'll see you next Sunday with another video like this, but until then, have a good one.